Hey guys, this is Dragon Rockstar here. I figure I'll do another deck profile. Small update due to the fact of the new ban list. Everyone knows that a few cards on the ban list just came back out. A few upgrades, a few things got immediately hit. Dinos finally got their upgrades back, so they get to do whatever they need to do. A lot of people are starting to combine Shaddoll Dinos, which is actually a good deck as well. If I can get my hands on those, I will. I'm working with a few other engines to put into the 60-card Lightsworn Shaddolls. Now the 60-card Lightsworn Shaddolls have a few minor upgrades, not many. The Shaddoll lineup, I will admit, has been cut down a few. Lightsworns are kind of the same ratio, except Lila's been cut out. I don't know if this was previously from my last deck profile of this deck, but a few engines have been cut out. A few setbacks and a few cards have been cut out. Allure Darknesses have been cut out completely. I figured, because due to the fact I only had two and I was only playing two at the time, it still didn't help out many ratios of the deck. I kept losing my hands real quickly with Allure Darkness, but other than that, the consistency of the deck is perfectly okay. I would recommend probably doing a few different decks than the ones I currently do, but and there's also a few other cards that should get changed out once the actual ban list comes out. Even though Sky Strikers, Thunder Dragons, and somewhat Salamangreats got hit a little bit. I feel that the ban list was pretty okay. So this is post-ban list. So a few cards in here are, even though the ban list hasn't originally came out just yet, a few cards in the side deck are from the actual ban list, and I'll just show you one there. So I'm going to go with you guys with the extra deck, main deck, and side deck. Certain cards I think you guys should side deck in this format, even though there's a few other cards that could be used, but for right now, the ones I currently have would pretty much I would recommend you guys using. So for instance, we're going to start off with the monsters, but the Lightsworn and Shaddoll lineup. For the Shaddoll lineup, there's one Beast. I don't know if you guys can see that right there. Double Squamana, one Dragon, one Hedgehog, and then last but not least, try to scoot this down a little bit. Last but not least, the one Falco. Yes, everything here is good and basically pretty well thought out. Previously, from my other videos, I did play 3 Squamanas, but Squamana was like bricking more often. I kept seeing it more towards the bottom of the deck than I did any of the other Shaddoll monsters. Hedgehog basically helped me with a couple, it was a little bit of consistency issues. I wouldn't recommend playing more than one Hedgehog. Dragon, I would recommend probably playing more than one in this format, due to the fact that Subterriers and Altar guys could come back because they never really got hit on the ban list, so I would recommend you guys using those. Falco is pretty well okay. I don't really like Falco as often as people think, but Falco still is another Shaddoll monster that I would recommend to play. Beast is just your draw power. I played previously for my other videos at first I tested out at 3, but then I officially played it at 2, and then 2 was okay. 1's perfect, because it's there when you need it. If you need an extra draw, or if you need another card in your hand to help you get up more combos, Beast is there to help you set up. These are all previously what I will play for now on for my Shaddoll lineup. I wouldn't really cut anything else out. Besides maybe the Falco. I could cut out the Falco, maybe run another Shaddoll, or put in another card tech that I can test out in the deck. But for now, this is pretty much the Shaddoll lineup I would keep and never change for now. For the Lightsworn ratio, which is pretty hefty of a Lightsworn count, everyone knows you gotta play the 3 Radiants because Radiant's good. Radiants just get you there for your first turns. Previously, I was playing them at 2, but then after testing with Pot of Desires, I kept banishing both of them, or never really seeing them that often, so I think 3 is fine how it is. More often, you probably end up banishing 2 out of the 3 anyway when you go for like desires, or like you'll have 2 in the graveyard, and if you need 1 in your hand, there you go. So Raiden's perfectly good, and those of you who probably don't know what it does, it's just normal summon mill 2. It's basically good for anything. It's like it's your go-to if you don't really have a good hand. Triple Wolf, everyone knows this is the brick of the Lightsworn collection. Wolf is a brick. It's not really as powerful as most people think, but Wolf is just a free special summon, so it is powerful no matter what. Lightsworn players always, those of you that play 2 of these, I wouldn't really recommend. I would play 3 Wolves as best as possible, because Wolf is just the best one to have. Then you play, it's Wolf's sister, Felice. Felice is just basically a knockback. It gets rid of the problematic cards you can't deal with. Felice is just perfect to get rid of cards that you can't get around, specifically monsters. It's a good card to play no matter what. And then that's it for like the heavy mill 3. For the actual end of the Lightsworns, which is 2 Luminas. This is the last of the Lightsworn count. Lumina is good because it helps you recycle. You can just keep recycling Lumina over Lumina over Lumina over Lumina. Like you'll ditch out a card, special summon Lumina, link away with this Lumina, and you have this Lumina to get back that Lumina. It's perfect for me. I would test out the Lightsworn Lumina, but I don't really want to banish my stuff as more often as most people think. I wouldn't even think that the Lightsworn Lumina was all that powerful in my perspective. I would like to keep it at 2 Luminas. Those of you are probably going to say run 3. 3 is the best. 3 is good. 3 Luminas can hurt your consistency, so I only run 2. What I mean by that is like you'll have it in your hand, and you don't really need it for the very first beginning of the game. You prefer to get Lumina at towards the mid of the game. That way you can still have more combos and still special summon a lot of other monsters from your extra deck. For the plant engine, everyone knows you run the triple Pride Plant or for Scorpio, the 1 Cobra, and then the 1 Glow Ball. Everyone knows to run these guys. There's no changes to them. Glow Ball, that's just free mill. Cobra is it's Cobra. And then Scorpio is, like, Cobra is your brick. Scorpio helps you get the brick, especially someone into the field. Glow Ball is just a free link power. So, yeah. It's all self-explanatory. Lone Fire Blossom would be good in this deck if we had Fairy Tail Snow back, but Konami wanted to hit Fairy Tail Snow because of how obnoxiously abusive it was in this format, but it still was a good thing that they did that. For the only hand trap, you play triple Ash Blossom. Ash is Ash. Ash is your best friend in every game. Ash is basically the only hand trap I would recommend to play in the main deck. No matter what, it's the best hand trap in the game. We are supposed to be expecting a new hand trap in the Dark Neoswarm box, but I personally wouldn't really play that card. I think Ash Blossom is better than all the hand traps in the game, but we'll see once I keep testing. Clown Engine, standards, 1 damage juggler, double hat tricker, and 1 trick clown. This is all standard. Everybody knows that I play these guys no matter what if I'm playing the Brilliant Fusion engine. So I wouldn't really cut out the Brilliant Fusion engine because it's too abusive. Sorry about that. My phone was going off there. For like the Chaos variant cards, I play the Chaos variant version of this deck. So I run double Collapse Serpent, double Wither Buster, and then 1 Chaos Dragon Leviair. These are all abusive. These are all powerful. These are all amazing in this deck. There's been times where I actually want to boost up Collapse Serpent and Wither Buster. That way I can still have more consistency. But I'm working on figuring out a little bit more combos and a little bit different aspect of what I want to play in the deck. Then you got 2 more monsters that I do play that's more of Chaos. But for now, Chaos Dragon Leviair is also abusive. It's also broken. It's also amazing. I'm working on trying to get me more than one of these guys. For right now, I only own 1, but as soon as I get me more, I will bring that video. This deck will be changed a lot because of him. He's abusive. He's the best dragon out of all these dragons. That's it for the mini Chaos Dragon engine right here. Then you have Black Coastal Soldier at the beginning. He's busted. He's basically your big beat stick level 8 monster. He's just a free special summon to get rid of things that you can't get around. He's a free attacker. Plus, if you special summon underneath Sayuja, he's basically a 33 beat stick. They can pretty much almost get around everything. Can't really grab it. Oops. Then for the new tech engine that I'm testing out to see how well it works, I'm testing out the block engine. I'm only playing one block dragon. The reason why I'm only playing one block dragon because sometimes if you have 2 in the deck, you basically can have a brick in the deck. Plus, this is easily sendable with Curious, Foolish Burial, Minerva. Like, you mill a lot, so you're more likely going to have this in the graveyard like crazy. And then you play the 3 Gigantus. Gigantus was a previous card I played long ago in my previous videos. You guys can check out my previous videos on my channel. Gigantus was a powerful card during that time, mainly in the 60 card variant decks, which I haven't uploaded any 60 card variant decks. I don't believe so. Like from way back in the day when Fairy Tale Snow was extremely live. I wish I did. But Gigantus is broken and abusive. Gigantus was one of the favorite monsters I played in my 60 card decks because you just banish. Because you run a lot of Earths, and you could just banish the Earths to special summon him and just overlay him or synchro with him or special summon him. So he's a very good beat stick to search out with Black Dragon. Then you have Giant Rex. Giant Rex was one of the monsters that you play with Snow because he's just a free special summon. He's just basically abusive too. I play him in here because you can banish him off of Giant Rex and then another spell card that I test out as well. This is the new engine I've been working with. There's been times where I did need a second Black Dragon. For right now, I'm going to only play one until I can figure out a little bit more consistency. What to cut out, what to keep, and things of that nature. But for now, Black Dragon's pretty well good at 1, and then you got the Giant Rex, which is pretty good at 1, and then you have the 3 Gigantus. For the rest of the monsters, which you run the only one of monsters that I'm starting to run one of each now, is Goblinberg and Garnet. Goblinberg is good because you have a ton of search power in the deck. Plus, you have Sayuja, and then you have other draw power cards in the deck that can actually give you Goblinberg if you need it at times. And then Garnet is because it's a Garnet. You play Brilliant Fusion. It's the other brick of the deck. So you have to play Garnet if you play Brilliant Fusion. You can't really play any others. But yeah, those are pretty much what I currently have. Then for that's all the monsters. If you guys do have questions about the certain monsters, what happened to this monster, what happened to that monster, have you ever thought about doing this or this, let me know down in the comments below. Give me your comments. Let me know down in the comments below what monsters you want me to test out. What other monsters do you think I should play? I will work on trying to get my hands on those cards. Also, I'm sorry for not uploading a few videos this week or the last couple of weeks. I've been really previously busy with work and all. So thanks to the summer coming up, I've been working a lot more. I've been talking to a lot more of my friends to get me certain cards. I've been working with a lot of people to help me get me certain things right now. As soon as certain things start to add up for me right now, I will start coming out more and more videos. But for now, this is what I'm kind of trying to work with right now. Right now, I do have free time, so this is why I'm doing this video. So I hope you guys do enjoy this video. So let's go ahead and keep going. For the spell cards, I play Triple Charge of Light Brigade, Charge, self-explanatory, and then you have the Triple Solar Recharge. These both are self-explanatory. You play 3 of each because you are playing the 60 card deck too, so it's good to have each one is in hand. Long ago, I was playing this at 2. This was the worst mistake of my life, is playing this at 2. 3 is good because you usually will have a dead wolf or Felice, or Lumina becomes dead every once in a while, and Rated could become dead, but you just don't want those dead Lightsworns in your hand stopping you from continuing your plays. For the rest of the spell cards, for the other draw power engine, I play only the Triple Pile of Desires. Desires is your basically Pot of Greed. It's just your free get pluses. Only one time have I ever did Pot of Desires into a Pot of Desires. That's happened before, but Desires is perfectly good how it is. For like the Shaddoll lineup, or the Fusion lineup to be exact, you play triple Shaddoll Fusion, double Shaddoll Fusion, and then the one Brilliant Fusion. Obviously, it's self-explanatory why you play the one Brilliant Fusion, because Brilliant Fusion was put to 1. Shaddoll Fusion is a perfect good card at 2, because he just helps you get rid of your certain dead Shaddoll monsters. Plus, you could set this there, and then once your opponent goes with their combos and they special summon, or like when they do a few summonings and stuff, you could just chain, play Shaddoll Fusion. That'll be their only special summon for that turn, because that's to be like that. Like if you go for Shaddoll Winda, but if you go for Construct, you can get over certain card effects and certain things. You can attack over your opponent's monsters a lot more, because if you have Sayuja on the board as well Construct, you just get pluses. Shaddoll Fusion's good going first and second. I like it at 3. I personally will never cut out Shaddoll Fusion, basically. If I'm keeping the Shaddoll engine, I will keep this engine no matter what. Brilliant Fusion might be cut out in the near future if I find a better tech to test out, but for now I like the Brilliant Fusion engine and I like the Shaddoll engine how it is. And then for the one-of powerful spells, I play the one Gold Sarcophagus, because Giant Rex, you banish Giant Rex, get a free special summon. One Rhoda, or reinforces the army. Most people call it Rhoda. Reinforces the army, helps you get your Goblinberg, your Raidens, and other things of that nature. You have your one Foolish Burial to help you send Block Dragon, or anything you really need in the graveyard. Personally, a couple times I've sent Glow Ball to the graveyard, activate effective Glow Ball, mill, and then link away with that Glow Ball, and if I still have Gigantus or any other monsters in my hand, I can banish it, search out, and do more and more combos. So Foolish Burial was good at 1. And then one Monster Reborn, because I can use my opponent stuff against them, and I can use their stuff to go for my like plays. That's usually sometimes when I think about it. Also, Monster Reborn is good because if you mill the wrong monster at the wrong time, you can bring that monster back and go up more combos. So that's it for the main deck. Like I said before, comment if you guys have any suggestions or any ideas what I should run in my spell or monster lineups. I am all for grabs. Let me know down in the comments below. For the extra deck, I'm going to come with you guys with the extra deck. For the extra deck, for my fusions, the one Construct, obviously, double Shaddoll Windows, and then the one Gemini Seraphonite. Seraphonite, self-explanatory because you play the Brilliant Fusion engine. Windows good at 2. 3 is just too much. 1, you just need to boost it up a little bit more. The reason why I said 1's bad, because you usually sometimes will go through the first one, or your opponent will get around the first one, and then once they get rid of that first one, you can chain with, if you have Shaddoll Fusion on the field, you can chain and go on more. There's been times where my opponent has gotten rid of my Construct, or trying to get rid of my Construct, and once they choose the target, I chain Shaddoll Fusion. They already chosen their target, so I chain. If I have a Shaddoll monster in my hand or a Dark monster, I fuse both Construct and that Dark monster or Shaddoll monster just to summon out Winda. And then my opponent looks at me like, damn, wrong, that was the worst mistake of my life. This is funny just to see my opponent's faces. But this is the only fusion lineup. This is the perfect lineup for all the fusions. I personally won't really cut out any of them. I think they're all pretty powerful how they are. For the Synchro engine, everyone knows I still play the Neteria Beast because of Cobalt and any Earth monster. And since I am running a decent amount of Earth monsters, I can summon out Neteria Beast like very good. And I personally will never cut out Neteria Beast. Or, like, there's been times where I've actually been tipped on side decking Neteria Beast because the extra deck is so tight. But Neteria Beast is good at 1, and it's a pretty powerful synchro. That would be the only level 5 you run in here. For the 7s, you run the 1 Michael, 1 F.A. Don Dragster. They're both self-explanatory. Michael, I'm starting to run him back again, because there's been times where I can actually summon him and get rid of problematic cards I do have a hard time going against. And then F.A. Darn Dragster is pretty good no matter what. It helps you get rid of a lot of cards that you can't get around. It helps you negate certain things. The best part about F.A. Darn Dragster, if you have F.A. Darn Dragster on your side of the board and your opponent tries to do evenly matched, you can use F8 on Dragster's effect to negate that. It's a powerful monster no matter what. And then Michael it's just Michael. It's self-explanatory. Plus, Michael is the best part about it. The reason why I like Michael the most, because over that 1,000 you spend to get rid of something, if you try and force your opponent to destroy Michael, you can get Michael's effect to get life points, which is actually the best thing about this deck. Because now the new time rule is basically hurting the meta a little bit, because a lot of players are starting to lose focus on that the time rule is going to be in effect. I can use Michael in my abusive way and make it where I can gain life points. So it's a powerful monster no matter what. For my Synchro level 8s, I run the Warlord Savage Dragon no matter what, and then Crystal Wing. The reason I'm running Crystal Wing is I do run Michael. There's been times where I can summon it, and it's actually won me a couple games too. So that's the best thing about it. And then Boiler Savage is self-explanatory. It's your beat stick. It's the one card I ever pulled in my first ever pack of Savage Strike, and I'm glad that I pulled it, and I'm glad that this card is abusive and can win me games. For the XE, or XE, is Minerva. Minerva is the only XE I run. I took out Mist Dweller because of the consistency issues with Mist Dweller. I think Mist Dweller is good against certain matchups, but not all matchups. And Minerva is good against pretty much anything. You have it on your board and you mill Lightsworns, you get the draw. If Minerva gets destroyed, you just get to pop free stuff. Minerva's good at 1. There's been times where 2 could be used. I've been working on with the extra deck a little bit, trying to figure out if I should run 2 or 1. You guys let me know down in the comments below. Based on the number of Lightsworn monsters I have in my main deck, do you think I should run 2 or 1? Let me know down in the comments below. And then for the links, for my link 2s, I run 1 Security Dragon, 1 Proxy Dragon. Both are self-explanatory. Security Dragon gets rid of certain things that you can't get around, or you can have it during your opponent's turn. It's 1 swap face up on the field, meaning in my standards and to a few of my other judges and other standards tournaments that I've been to, Security Dragon 1 swap face up on the field can work against both your opponent and you during your turns. So it's a pretty good card. And then Proxy Dragon helps you get rid of certain things if you it helps protect your stuff, which is always useful. For the link 3 is the 1 Curious. Curious is self-explanatory. Curious is curious. Curious is broken. It should never have been printed in the first place, but Curious is always amazing. And then for the link 4s is 1 Warlord Dragon, and then 1 Sayuja Skull Dragon. Sayuja Skull Dragon should have got a hit on this ban list previously that we recently got. I would recommend Sayuja going to 1. That way you can stop certain decks and their consistency, because there's a lot of problems with certain decks these days. Sayuja basically helps a lot of decks go faster and faster throughout their decks, get them what they need. That way they can make them breakable boards. And then Warlord Dragon is just, it's Warlord Dragon. You only ever need 1. Sayuja, for this deck, I've been trying to figure out, should I run 2 or should I run? Like I said, let me know down in the comments below what you guys think I should run. What's the limit of certain cards? What cards would be pretty well thought out? What cards should be changed? Things of that nature. Excuse me there. For the side deck, standard side deck, triple DD Crawls, good against everything. Triple Dunner's Wrestler, Prankletops, good against everything. These 2 cards are amazing against everything. They're both self-explanatory. DD Crow just basically gets rid of wherever your opponent's playing. Like, it gets rid of those problematic cards you can't get around. And then Prankletops helps you get rid of cards, period. Then for like your turbo decks that you'll be going against, or decks that you have a hard time going against, is you can run Triple Raw Spear Mode to help get rid of those turbo decks or speed decks, the decks that just turbo out through their whole entire deck, and you have a hard time going against their boards. In this deck, sometimes the normal summon does count, sometimes the normal summon doesn't really matter. With the consistency of the deck, you can, the Brilliant Fusion Engine, Sayuja's effect, you have ways to special summon a lot. There's ways where you can just turbo out through your whole deck and still get a lot more combos. There's ways that you can use Raw Spear Mode to your advantage. If you get rid of your opponent's monsters and stuff like that, then in your turn, this immediately comes back to you, meaning it gets stuck on your side of the board. That way your opponent can't get around it. It's a broken card in my perspective. Then for the spell cards, you run the triple Twin Twister. Twin Twister gets rid of everything. It's the best card in this format. It's pretty much, it's self-explanatory. It's good against a lot of back row decks. Then thanks to the ban list, I am starting to side deck the 2 Super Polys. The reason why I'm side decking the Super Polys is because instead of main decking them, is because there's sometimes where if you try to use your Fusion Summon and your opponent negates your Fusion Summon, you can use Super Poly. Like your Super Poly cannot be negated, so they cannot negate the Fusion Summon of the Fusion monster, which is always amazing. And then Super Poly is good against a lot of matchups. So personally, I'm going to keep Super Poly in my side deck more than anything. Once I get me the Shaddoll Fire Monster, I'm going to be using that in my side deck. I do have it. I changed out it long ago. Thanks to Super Poly coming to 2, I think the Shaddoll Fire Monster would be very useful against Solomon Grades because of what they do and how they turbo out through their whole entire extra deck and how they turbo out through their deck. You can use Super Poly against that and slow them down. So that's like you could summon the Shaddoll monster and just basically slow down their deck. So that's the reason why I'm starting to work with Super Poly right here. And then for the last side deck, which is actually an extra deck monster now, is Abyss Dweller. Abyss Dweller, like I said in a few minutes ago or so, Abyss Dweller is good, but only against certain matchups. So, like, if your opponent abuses the graveyard, you can use Abyss Dweller against them. That's the only thing that I would recommend side decking the most is this card. There's been times where this is very useful and could be very useful, so that's why I like to keep it how it is. Like I said throughout the whole video, you guys let me know some changes that you guys think I should do. What cards could be changed, what cards could stay the same, what's some nice little spicy text I can run in the deck and things of that nature. Also let me know down in the comments below what other deck videos would you guys like to see. Right now, I've been trying to figure out how to make my Chaos Dragons work pretty well. It's going to be a bit before I do. I've been working with a lot of other card effects and a lot of other situations, so I hope you guys do enjoy those. Like I said before, guys, let me know down in the comments below which cards do you think I should change, what cards, what ratios do you think what ratios do you guys think I can boost up? What's some changes that you guys would love to see? Just let me know down in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And hit that notification bell. That way you guys can get more and more amazing content like this. Dragon Rockstar is signing out. See you guys real soon.